While the survival horror community is celebrating the release of Silent Hill F, the Resident Evil community is losing their minds over this. Now this image is very obviously AI generated. Now before you click off this video because you are unhappy that Leon isn't in the game, let me tell you a little bit about why this image is fake. First of all, if you've been around the Resident Evil community, especially on YouTube, there has been a ton of misinformation ever since Resident Evil Village was first announced. From people claiming that Chris was going to be the main character, to Claire being infected and dying and in Resident Evil 8, and Chris having to be a villain of some kind to save his sister, to Leon being in Resident Evil 9. There's been at least 1,000 videos with fake images related to Resident Evil 9, including things such as Miranda or Leon this, Leon that. There's been a lot of misinformation surrounding Leon and Resident Evil 9 in particular. A lot of this has been AI generated. Well, it's really easy to create. You don't even have to pay anything or anything. So what these people used is probably something similar, or ChatGPT itself. They feed a screenshot of Leon from one of the movies, most likely Resident Evil 4 or Resident Evil Death Island, and then they tell ChatGPT to generate an image of an older Leon, and voila, you have a YouTube thumbnail. It is that easy. The second thing I want to point out is that RPD sort of zombie, it looks like they used the Regenerador or the Regenerator from Resident Evil 4 Remake, and they just told ChatGPT to put an RPD costume on it. And for the top left image, well, I don't even know what to say about that. If that doesn't convince you that it's AI, I don't know what to tell you, to be honest. Another thing that is very obvious, but may not be as obvious at first glance, is the writing on this image. Now this image might look legitimate to the untrained eye, and I guess to casual people who don't really know about AI or languages for that matter. Well, this language is Chinese, and last time I checked, Capcom is a Japanese company. So if this was indeed a leaked document, it wouldn't be in simplified Chinese. Now, I really dislike having to make a video like this. I just can't handle seeing people being lied to, and you know, we all love Resident Evil, right? We like this franchise, and you deserve better, honestly. We all deserve a better treatment in this community. Trust me, I'm as excited as you are for Resident Evil 9, and I love Leon as much as you do. I know there's a lot of people out there who think that I'm a Leon hater or a Leon denier. I don't hate Leon, and I don't hate anyone. To be completely honest, I would be incredibly happy to see Leon in Resident Evil 9 make an appearance or a cameo or something like that. I honestly don't care if he's in it or if he's not. The problem isn't Leon being in Resident Evil 9. The real problem is misinformation. At least for me. That's something that I want to clear up before, you know, you call me a Leon hater again. I don't hate Leon. In fact, the new Leon is like my favorite version of Leon. I really like remake Leon. So seeing Leon in Resident Evil 9 would be absolutely amazing. And I just realized that I've said Leon like 6 times back to back. But anyway, the problem isn't Leon being in Resident Evil 9. So it's not us content creators hating on the Leon fans. Well, at least for me, I can only speak for myself. I don't hate Leon or Leon fans, I just don't like misinformation, and unfortunately the Resident Evil community currently is full of that. So I wanted to clear things up and let you know that only listen to Capcom and just be patient, really. Capcom is the official developer and publisher of Resident Evil 9, so that's the only people that you should trust. And honestly, building up your own expectations for something that someone else made up that isn't Capcom, and then being disappointed that it's not true and taking it out on Capcom is just not a great thing, and it's not fair in, you know, respect to Capcom as a developer. Honestly, they deserve better because they obviously absolutely care about this franchise. I mean, just watch any interview with director Nakanishi and you can truly see that he is passionate about Resident Evil and he knows exactly what Resident Evil needs to move forward. Anyway, let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. In my personal opinion, Grace Ashcroft will be the only playable character in Resident Evil 9, but that's just a prediction. The only reason for that is because I think Capcom currently needs a brand new character in the Resident Evil franchise. Someone who can carry forward the franchise and allow us to get even more games. Speaking of carrying forward the franchise, I've heard another widespread misconception and lie that Capcom would kill off Leon in Resident Evil 9 because he is too old, and that is upsetting a lot of people, of course. Well, once again, that is another example of misinformation, building up people's expectations and then disappointing them. Now, I honestly don't think Leon is the face of Resident Evil, although you might think otherwise. To be honest, if anyone is the face of Resident Evil, that is Jill and Chris. And let's be honest here, Capcom has forgotten about Jill, so probably Chris would be the closest thing to that. Now, Capcom has included Chris in Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 6, Resident Evil 8, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil Revelations 1, and the list goes on. And it is clear that they at least tried to put Chris in the spotlight for a long time. Capcom moving forward with a brand new character doesn't mean they absolutely hate the original characters or that they have to kill off one of the main characters that we previously had in other Resident Evil games. Now, a lot of people are upset about this, that Grace Ashcroft is being included as the main character in Resident Evil Requiem. Honestly, why would you be upset that there's a new character? Other than, I guess you only played Resident Evil 4 and 6 and you think Leon is the main character? Well, I don't want to make assumptions, so you probably shouldn't either. My point is, let's not create fake rumors, and honestly, let's just be patient. To be honest, right now, the only official thing we know is that Grace Ashcroft is the main character, that the game will likely focus a lot or exclusively to the Raccoon City trilogy, you know, Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, and then specifically Outbreak. So we should probably think about Resident Evil Outbreak characters returning to the franchise in Resident Evil 9 Requiem. But personally, I'm not super familiar with Resident Evil Outbreak, so let me know in the comments down below, who do you think could return from Resident Evil Outbreak? What do you think about these leaks? And I guess Leon? Do you think Leon will be in Resident Evil 9? Anyway, as always, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I will most likely be playing Silent Hill F as I'm recording this video, so don't forget to tune in on my live streams and look forward to an easy guide walkthrough of the brand new Silent Hill game, and as well as more Resident Evil content on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.